Hello guys, I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I want to work on with Jasper before he starts school. They're not things that I expect him to do at all. These are just things that I'm going to work on with him. There's no pressure. So the first thing is for him to recognise his own name. Now this is for things like his peg, his drawer. Now it might be that in his first year of school he'll have a picture like he does at preschool, so he won't need to recognise his name for that. But it's also for things like his school jumper and his t-shirt and shoes and things like that that will have his name in, so that I'm not constantly having to go and buy a new school jumper because he's taking home other children's ones. So for that I have got this, which is from Little Boo Learning. It's absolutely brilliant. So you can have them personalised. The R is downstairs because Jensen took it off. But yeah, they're just Velcro letters and he's got his name written at the bottom. So he literally just has to copy the letters. And I think it's really good just to get him to recognise the letters, recognise the order that they come in, and to be able to spell his name. But like I said, there's no pressure for him to be able to spell his name. But yeah, something like this I think you can't really go wrong with. And as well as being able to recognise his name, we're going to work on being able to recognise all letters and numbers. Numbers wise he is quite good. I'd say he could recognise 1 to 6, but then after that he gets a little bit confused, and if all the numbers were on a page, he finds it quite difficult to like pick one out. But if I just showed him like a 2 or a 4 or something, then he could tell me what it is. So yeah, things like that. I think it will just help him, you know, around the school if there are classroom names or drawer numbers or just things like that. I feel like it will be a good kind of head start for him. And when I say head start, I don't mean head start against other children, I just mean for himself. But yeah, to be able to recognise letters and stuff, I got this little phonics book and I used to just use it for like flashcards, so he would just tell me what the pictures are. Yeah, I'm going to try and use this and we'll say, you know, what is it? It's a B, what does B begin with, and trying to like more the phonics of it, so B for B, and then showing him, you know, which letter there is a B, and just trying to get him to recognise the letters more. He doesn't have to be able to read the whole alphabet. He knows the alphabet to say, but not to read. So also for reading, I have got an app on his iPad. Like on here we've got ABC Phonics, which is a really good app. We've only got the free version, so it only goes up to D, I think. We've had this for like over a year, and it just does songs, and you can draw the letters with your fingers, and I'll show you like A. It gets a little bit irritating if he watches it too much, but I know that he's learning, so it's better than hearing like Peppa Pig and George crying and stuff. So that is a really, really good one. And then also Reading Eggs is a really, really good one. This is one that we've only just gotten into. I've got an account on there for Jasper and for Jensen, and what it basically does is it tracks their reading age and their progress. So you've got a whole progress section on here. So it will tell you what his reading age is, what his phonics skills level is, how many sight words he knows. There are hundreds of books on there for them to read. There are different tests and things. And I just think it's brilliant. It's from age 2 to 13 and there are different sections for different levels. So I think it's a really good one to get your child started in at this age. I love books. I absolutely loved reading when I was younger. And I really want Jasper to have that same passion, because I feel like, I'm going to get a bit deep here, society at the moment, you get instant gratification. He can watch a TV programme, he can watch something on his iPad, you know, they're surrounded by toys, like they never kind of, Jasper does use his imagination a lot because I try and live quite minimalistically. He doesn't have a lot of toys and we try and get outside a lot, and he's just one of those kids, like he'll have a couple of little characters and he'll make up a whole scenario. Yeah, so he does use his imagination a lot. But I feel like with a book, like you have to invest time in it to learn more and to find out what happens in the story, and you just need to use your imagination. I feel like kids don't invest that much time into it anymore because they can just watch a TV programme or a movie or play something on the iPad. And yeah, so for me, I really want books to be a huge part of the boys' lives, and it already is. Like they've both got their reading corners in their rooms and we read every night before bed and throughout the day as well. They absolutely love books, so this just really complements that as well. But I'll leave a link to that app and the pink font one and any of the companies and products I'll try and link below. Okay, number 3 is to be able to write his name, but Jasper still uses this grip on a pen rather than pincer grip. It's not a concern because when they're at school they learn this anyway. There are two ways that I've been trying to kind of, because I can position his hand like that and then he'll just go like this. So the first one, you get them to hold the pen here with the pen bit at the top, literally pinching it, and then you simply turn it around. And then they've got it there and you just kind of push it against the hand and help them to position it. And the second one is to put a peg on the pen. Someone on Instagram sent me this. Thank you very much if it was you. I also went out and ordered a few books from Amazon. So these, I primed them. They were like £3 each. Collins books, which I remember using when I was little. So this one is for pen control. It's a wipe clean one, so you get the little pen that goes with it. And it starts with very simple ones, like just doing lines. And then you start to do more like zigzaggy lines, and there are games as well, and then as it goes on you start to kind of develop more letter looking lines. So this is like a hopping frog, but obviously it's developing the M shape, and then at the end you can practice your numbers and your letters. So this one's brilliant. Jasper really loves it, especially because it's wipe clean. On top of pen control, I really want to kind of work on writing his name and just being able to write in general, because I feel like that's something that, you know, they are going to be working on when he starts school. So I also ordered these two Collins books. Again, they were like £2.99 each. So the first one that I've got is this writing book. So again, it kind of starts with some pen control like in the other one. I'm just doing like straight lines, wavy lines, loop-de-loops and stuff like that, and then some games and shapes, because you've got to make it fun at their age, haven't you? And then it goes into like numbers and letters, and it's really good because you can trace them and copy them. And then I got this numbers one as well, so it's teaching you to write the numbers, and there's a lot of counting as well. So I mean, stuff like this, like he knows there's 1, 2, 3 bears, but he doesn't know how to write the number 3. Number 4, I think, which ties in with recognising and writing numbers, is to be able to count. Jasper can count from 1 to 10. He can do 20, but he gets a little bit like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 19, 20. He just, I don't know if it's because he's not interested or he just gets a bit muddled, but if I really sat down with him and, you know, went through it with him, then he could get to 20. But yeah, I just want to keep practicing that with him. I do with him like what's 1 and 1, and he'll count my fingers and say 2. So we'll do lots of things like that, and we'll do things with like toy cars and anything like little people, whatever we're playing with. I'm going to try and incorporate some like counting with that. But I thought I'd show you this book. This was actually given to him for his birthday, and it's a magnetic book, and it's things like how many red cars can you count. So you have to find all the red cars, put the number 5 and the word 5. So that's a really good one just to get him reading the word and recognising the number. But yeah, there are so many ways that you can learn counting with children without needing to like buy books or anything like that. Okay, the next one I feel really excited about, but it is my, oh, I keep hitting myself in the face, my first calendar. And I just thought it was such a good idea to get kids talking in the mornings and just be aware of like what day it is and what the weather's like, and just not so much, you know, like what they're doing and their friends are doing, but a bit more aware of like society and the outside world. So this is my first calendar. I got this from Amazon, primed it again. I think it was like £15 maybe. It's magnetic, so you can stick it on your fridge or you can hang it up. So basically every morning you can say what the day is. So obviously today is Wednesday, I've already done this. Today's date, the 5 has fallen off somewhere. You can ask them what the weather is like. Today is partly cloudy. He said it's sunny and a bit dark, and I was like, yeah, that's partly cloudy. And I just think it's really good. What I tend to do is leave the day before's on for the morning, because it helps him to then figure out what the next one is. So for example, tomorrow on Thursday, we can look and say, right, so this one's Wednesday. He knows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He just doesn't know how to read it. But he could say, right, Wednesday, what comes next? It's Thursday. And I could say, right, well, here's the space where Wednesday was, and he can find it, and it would just help him to recognise the words as well. I think it's really good to help them with numbers and with reading, but it's also good just to get them talking. Because I feel like morning routines can be so rushed and, you know, get your socks on, have your breakfast, hurry up, and you don't get to talk about your day. So I think that is a really good one. Okay, number 6 is to be able to use scissors. This is one that I hadn't even thought of, but it's someone on Instagram who's actually a primary teacher. I mentioned that I'd gotten all of these books and stuff on my Instagram, and she said, oh, as a primary teacher, this makes me really, really happy that you're being proactive. And she said something you might also want to try is getting him to cut up magazines and newspapers. So obviously he's using that skill of using scissors. He's quite good at using them already, but he does sometimes use like 2 hands, or the paper kind of flips over with the scissors. But yeah, he is quite good already, but we do practice that, and I took the lovely lady's advice, and we've been kind of scrapbooking, or just like cutting up bits of magazines and sticking them together, and it's quite a nice activity to do, as well as being really good for their motor skills. The next few things that I feel I will worry about when he's at school and I'm not there is kind of the big difference between preschool and school. Things like being able to wipe his butt. Jasper is very good at doing it, but they've only got little arms, haven't they? And sometimes, you know, at home I would say to him, oh, let mummy just check, and sometimes I do need to redo it, and it does worry me that if he goes into school and does a poo in the morning, and obviously the teachers aren't allowed to wipe for them, which I completely understand, he's then going to go all day with maybe like an itchy butt. When I've asked at preschool, they've always said, nope, he just does it, and he's never come home with an unwiped bum. So I know that like 90% of the time he can do it, but it is something that I'm practicing with him. The next thing is to be able to apply sun cream. And I only thought about this like 2 days ago when I was putting sun cream on him, and I thought, I wonder if they do that at school, and they don't. As far as I know, it might be different in different places, but Jasper's very good at putting his eczema cream on, and we've started practicing sun cream. But he is good, like he might need a bit of help squirting it, and I'm sure the teachers help do that. And he can kind of rub it in, but he often has like a lot left on his hands and it's not all even. Right, the next thing is being able to get himself dressed. Jasper's been getting himself dressed since he was about like 1 to 18 months, but he does struggle with his buttons. I don't know any kind of tips and tricks, we just practice. So that, and also getting his shoes on the right feet. For this, I've been using a really cool hack that I found on Pinterest, and it's to cut up a sticker and put the left side of the sticker in one shoe, like in the inside of the shoe, and the right side in the right shoe. Stickers, you can line up the shoes, make sure that the sticker matches, and then he knows it's the right way. I find that a really useful way because it is quite tricky for them. Another thing as well is working on riding his bike. We will be doing a park and stride, so we'll park at the local park and then we can walk down to the school, and I thought it would be quite nice for him to ride his bike. He can ride it now with stabilisers, but it's just something that it would be quite nice to practice, because I'm sure that he'll see a lot of his friends not using stabilisers and will want to take his off. The next one, the school that Jasper's going to go to has got an outdoor pool, so part of their PE curriculum is swimming lessons. Jasper's done swimming lessons since he was really little, but he kind of lost his confidence. He stopped the lessons and we've just been going kind of at our leisure, and I know that having lessons at the school is the whole point. Like if he can't swim, it will teach him to swim, but when we have lessons privately, I'm there to watch, whereas when he's at school, I'm not there. So I would just feel a lot more comfortable knowing that he can kind of tread water and keep himself up. So yeah, we've been trying to go swimming a lot more at our club lately. Okay, next up is practicing having conversations. Jasper's a big talker anyway, so I'm not really worried about that, but I really want him to know that he can ask for help if he needs it. If he suddenly needs to go to the toilet and there's a queue to talk to the teacher, he can go to the front and say, like, you know, excuse me, but I really need to go to the toilet. And if someone's being unkind to him, or he feels under pressure to do anything like that, I really want him to be able to talk. So that's something that we practice a lot. Every night before bedtime, we sit down and I ask him what he's done today, what was good about today, and what he didn't like about today, and also what we're going to do tomorrow. And it's just a lovely way to end the day, and it gets him thinking about what he's done and anything he'd like to change and anything he wasn't happy about and what he really enjoyed, and it's a really lovely thing to do. So I think that, on top of using the calendar in the mornings, it's just going to really work on his conversation skills and making new friends and getting to know new teachers, and just I really want him to feel confident that he can ask where he's going and he can ask for help. I also want to work on emotions. He's very good at knowing if someone's crying, they're upset, and if they're on their own, maybe they're sad. And I always say, you know, if someone is on their own, what do you do? And he says, oh, I ask them if they want to play. And so he is very kind and very good like that, but I just really want to work on that, because my biggest fear, I think, about school is bullying, whether it's him being bullied or him being a bully. It would just break my heart if I knew that he was being unkind and leaving another child out. And I know kids will be kids and they just have to learn and they make mistakes, but I just want him to be kind. And he's a very, very kind boy. But I know what kids can be like with peer pressure and stuff like that, and I always want him to know that, you know, he doesn't have to do something he doesn't want to do, and if something doesn't feel right, ask a teacher. So that's it. Those are the things that I'm going to be working on with Jasper before he starts school. I really hope that I didn't sound like this nervous wreck of a mum who's warrior and overpowering and stuff, because I'm really not. I am so relaxed when it comes to him, but at the same time I just want to prepare him as much as I can and just do everything that I can, and then at least when I send him off to school I know that I've done everything I can. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found some useful tips. If there's anything else that you're practicing as well, I would love to know, so please do pop it in the comments below, because I can add it to my list and hopefully we can kind of get a conversation going and we can help each other and make the whole starting school thing a little bit less daunting. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will link anything below in the description box that I've mentioned. And yes, if you did like this, please do give it a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye!